The Chicago White Sox took care of business on Thursday afternoon, beating the Kansas City Royals 7-1 on the South Side. Johnny Cueto bounced back and gave the White Sox an outstanding performance. The bullpen for the Sox was also fantastic. White Sox hit multiple home runs in the game and won a series for the first time in a long time. No time for rest as the Minnesota Twins are in town for 3 games starting Friday night.
You are Locked On White Sox, your daily Chicago White Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Sox fans, welcome to Locked On White Sox. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. We're free and available on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Locked On White Sox. Hey, I'm your host, Nick Morawski, a lifelong diehard Chicago White Sox fan, recording this podcast just blocks from the ballpark in beautiful Bridgeport. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTV. Really appreciate you letting me steal some of your time to talk White Sox. Locked On White Sox is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Miguel Cairo is saying all the right things as the White Sox win back-to-back games without Tony La Russa. Sox pitching put up a lot of zeros on Thursday, and it was not just Johnny Cueto. And it's better late than never as the White Sox are starting to hit a lot of home runs. State of the White Sox, they are 65-66, 4 games back in the AL Central, chasing the Cleveland Guardians. There are 31 games left in the season, and Miguel Cairo is 2-1 as acting manager of the Sox. White Sox beat the Kansas City Royals 7-1 Thursday afternoon. Sox are done with the Kansas City Royals for the year. They went 9-10. So the White Sox, they just kept pouring on the runs Thursday afternoon, which was really nice to see, especially during a day game following a night game. It was their 3rd game in a row with multiple home runs, some outstanding pitching. Johnny Cueto was brilliant, some vintage Cueto. And then Sox used 5 bullpen arms. They did not give up anything. Defense, as it has been, unfortunately, for most of the season, was spotty for sure. Sox had 3 errors in the game. They will not be able to get away with that against Minnesota or Cleveland or even Seattle Mariners coming up on the schedule soon. So the Sox won the series against the Royals, taking 2 of 3. It's their first series win since they swept the Detroit Tigers on August 14th. Sox have got a little bit of momentum here going into the weekend series against the Minnesota Twins. Jose Abreu said it best recently. You got to believe. You just have to believe. Come out and focus on each day and win the day. So, the White Sox, they just can't fall further behind right now. It's a little exciting. It's a two-game sample size. Okay, 2 in a row against the Royals. But what I've seen is a little different. It's fun when they're hitting multiple home runs and scoring runs and getting some solid pitching. So the Sox kind of just have to assume, Cleveland's going to just continue to win. We need to take care of our own business, get our house in order, play some clean baseball, please. And you never know. You just don't know what's going to happen. It feels like the Sox shouldn't be in contention right now with the way they've been playing, but it is the AL Central. No one is running away with it right now. The Sox still have 4 more games against the Guardians. That is on the schedule. And, again, anything can happen with 31 games left. However, the Sox need to, whatever they're doing right now, they need to step it up a little bit and continue this. September call-ups happened before Thursday afternoon's game. The roster expanded by 2 spots. So prior to Thursday's series finale against the Royals, the White Sox recalled right-handed pitcher Matt Foster and outfielder Adam Hazley from AAA Charlotte. Both Foster and Hazley saw some action Thursday afternoon. I'm assuming those players, there might be a bit of a revolving door if Kopech and Moncada come back and any other injured Sox players. And there could be some new names in and out with those 2 extra roster spots. Thursday morning, we found out that the White Sox had a players-only meeting prior to the game. Miguel Cairo wasn't privy to the meeting, but said the focus is having fun once they get on the field for the final month. That was according to Scott Merkin, White Sox beat reporter from MLB.com. Just have fun out there. It reminds me of that slogan, I think maybe from 2013 that the White Sox used, appreciate the game. That really told you what kind of year the Sox were going to have then. Hey, the Sox, they can do it. They absolutely can do it. Not the type of baseball that they played against the Arizona Diamondbacks or how the series started against the Royals. But what we saw these last 2 games, there's definitely been a spark. More home runs for sure, more offense since Miguel Cairo took over. I think he's worked well with Ethan Katz, and the bullpen management has been effective. Maybe this team will respond to Cairo. Maybe, just maybe, with their backs against the wall here in this final full month of the season, the Sox will come together and finally start playing some good, solid baseball. It's just a 2-game winning streak against the Royals right now. I get that, but you just need that one little spark. White Sox bats are starting to wake up, but I'm going to tell you why again, why bases loaded and nobody out is still a problem for the White Sox. More on that in a moment. Are you one of those people that thinks it's okay to drive stoned? What's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Not much going on with the Sox offense early on Thursday afternoon's game. You got to go to the 3rd inning with some action. Elvis Andrus had a home run and a pair of RBIs on Wednesday night. He stayed hot and drove in the legend, Lurie Garcia, with a base hit. Sox tied the game up. Then Andrew Vaughn, with his 15th home run of the season, put the Sox up 3-1. And that was really all they need, but it was nice to see them continuing to pile on the runs as the game went on. Abreu followed up with a double, 4th hit of the inning for the Sox. Aloy has a chance to tack on more with only 1 out, but an unproductive at-bat, grounds out to shortstop and can't advance. Abreu, Sox with 2 on and 2 outs, but the Sox ended up not getting anything else with a ground out to first base. 4th inning, Brad Keller. Yes, that Brad Keller is in the game for the Royals. However, nothing doing for the Sox. 5th inning with Andrus on second and 0 outs. Vaughn with a great at-bat. He grounded out to the right side to get Elvis to third. For Abreu, he had a rough at-bat, swung at a pitch that bounced into the catcher Perez. It's a big run at third base at this point in the game. Jimenez had a chance, but Brad Keller overpowers Aloy with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Sox do nothing with a runner on second and nobody out situation, but there's no surprise there. You're just shaking your head. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you might get the reference of George is trying to get this job with a latex company. He makes up this story, and this, that, and the other. Jerry sees George face down in his entryway, and Jerry says, "And you want to be my latex salesman?" That's what I think about. If you're not a Seinfeld fan, you won't get that reference. Maybe you'll appreciate it down the road. But when I see the Sox in a situation with a runner on second and nobody out, or bases loaded, nobody out, and they cannot get that run home, I have that tone of, and you want to win the AL Central? I mean, things definitely have to get better in that department. Sixth inning, Sheets led off with a walk, Pollock with a base hit, White Sox with men on second and first, and only one out. The legend, Leori Garcia, is up, and he shoots one up the middle. That leadoff walk comes around to score big RBI, 4-1 White Sox. They tack on another to make it a 5-1 game. A seventh inning, Harrison pinch hit for Eloy Jimenez, who left the game with right leg soreness. Yonder Alonso was doing the color commentating on the YouTube network there, and he had a great comment. He kind of was almost stunned at the news that Eloy Jimenez left with right leg soreness, and he said, there's got to be something else to this story. Everybody is sore in September. It was a very fitting comment for how things have gone with this White Sox team at times. Eighth inning, Grandal led off with a double, then an opposite field home run from A.J. Pollock to make it 7-1 White Sox, his second home run in as many days. Sox kept piling on the runs from third inning on. Sox offense, 7 runs, 11 hits, 4 extra base hits, another home run game. With runners in scoring position, Sox 4 for 12. Andrews and Pollock were each 2 for 4. Johnny Cueto pitched with fire. He pitched with swagger on Thursday. I'm going to tell you why the bullpen did as well. More on that in a moment. So Johnny Cueto's last start was a rough one. That was last Friday versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Gave up a lot of runs in a short amount of time, 7 earned runs to be exact. Hoping that was just an outlier. Cueto, 36 years old. He is a former Kansas City Royal. He won the World Series with the Royals way back in 2015. Coming into the game, Cueto versus the Royals in 2022, 2 outings, 12 innings, and only 2 earned runs given up. First inning, lots of movement on his pitches early on, swings and misses, struck out the first 2 hitters, then Perez grounded out. A classic Cueto, he was doing that stop start, the delayed windup, the quick pitch. He is really fun to watch. I mean, he'll get it up, into the 90s, not going to really overpower you. It's the movement that he has on his pitches. He's keeping hitters off balance. I've used the comparison to just playing like wiffle ball in the backyard, just with your friends, having a good time, no matter what age. And, you're just trying to get guys out and just screw around with them and keep them off balance and mixing up speeds and motion and all that kind of stuff. That's what he was doing. And he was in perfect vintage form. 32 pitches after 2 innings. Third inning, Royals got on the board after manufacturing a run with a few hits. Nothing hit terribly hard, but his command was a little off that inning, able to escape with just giving up 1 run. Fourth inning, Sox just put up 3 runs to take the lead, and Cueto starts the inning off with a strikeout. You'd like to see a quick inning so the Sox bats can get back to work. Abreu flashing the leather with a couple scoops so far in the game, helping to get the second out. After giving up a double, Cueto got a much-needed strikeout to end any sort of threat, 64 pitches after 4 innings. Fifth inning, Royals had a man on second, nobody out, ground ball up the middle. Andres fielded it and without hesitation went to third to get the first out. Some bad base running by the Royals. Cueto actually orchestrating the throw to third. You love how animated he can be sometimes. He gets into all different kinds of plays. He's a coach on the field. And then, unfortunately, some bad defense from the White Sox. A.J. Pollock out in center field throws home, completely misses the cutoff, man. And Royals have runners on second and third with only one out. Romy Gonzalez continued, though, to impress with his glove. And Garcia snags a line drive at third to get out of the inning without any damage. Still just 3-1 Sox. Sixth inning, 85 pitches on Cueto's arm as he starts the inning with one out and a runner on first. Miguel Cairo pulls Cueto in favor of Lopez. Cueto with a much-deserved standing ovation. Gutsy performance from Cueto. Lopez had 2 on, 1 out situation. Nice catch in foul territory by the legend, Lurie Garcia, for the second out. Then a catcher's interference on Grandal. So you got bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-run lead for the Sox. Hometown boy, Nicky Lopez, grounds to Abreu, a flip to Lopez, and the Royals are turned away. Cueto's final line, 5 in an inning, 5 and a third inning pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks, 5 strikeouts. Cueto's got a sub-3 ERA, 2.93. He threw 94 pitches. So an interesting situation in the seventh. Miguel Cairo changing things up a little bit. Kendall Graveman comes in the seventh, which is usually the eighth. He had a clean inning. And then Jake Diekman got the ninth. A bit of a matchup situation there with Diekman being a lefty. Pretty efficient until a 2-out single. He gets pulled in favor of Lambert. He's been in some high leverage situations all year long, and he got out of the inning. Ninth inning went to Matt Foster, recently called up, and that was clean. White Sox bullpen, 3 2/3 innings, only 1 hit, 0 earned runs, a couple of walks, and 6 strikeouts. Very nice. White Sox pitching, outstanding on Thursday afternoon. How about some post-game stuff here? In regards to Eloy Jimenez, this is what Miguel Cairo said. Said Thursday was similar to soreness Eloy has felt in the past. He described removing him as precautionary, but him playing on Friday is dependent on how he feels after treatment. And again, this has happened to Eloy Jimenez multiple times, and it seems like lately he's responded very well to treatment. Hopefully he bounces back because his post All-Star break numbers have been outstanding with the bat, of course. Cairo also spoke about La Russa in the post game. This is what Cairo had to say, quote, "Tony right now is in Arizona, and we are doing this for him. We miss him. The guys really love him and miss him in the clubhouse, and you can see the different energy. They know we have to do this for him," end quote. Hey, if that's the mentality, why weren't the White Sox winning for him when he was with the team in the dugout? Hey, whatever works right now. I don't care how it's happening. Whatever you want to tell yourself. I think Cairo's, carefully crafting his words, but whatever works at this point. Sox end the homestand with a 3-game series against the Minnesota Twins, starting, of course, Friday night. It's Davis Martin on the hill, Dylan Cease on Saturday, and then Lucas Giolito. Hopefully he can return to some vintage form on Sunday. White Sox are 4-6 against the Minnesota Twins this season. Hey, thanks for making this podcast part of your daily routine. You can find the Locked On White Sox podcast absolutely everywhere you find your podcast. We are on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Thanks for making Locked On White Sox your first listen. Now, for your second listen, go check out the Ultimate Pro Football Preview 2022, an 8-episode extravaganza to get you ready for the NFL season. The local team experts of the Locked On Podcast Network, plus a betting angle from Lee Sterling of Locked On Bets, all combining into one ultimate NFL preview. Search for Ultimate Pro Football Preview 2022 on your Odyssey app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up in the next episode, I'll recap the weekend series against the Minnesota Twins, and I hopefully will be celebrating the Sox sweeping the Twins. Really appreciate you making time for the Locked On White Sox podcast. I'm Nick Morawski. Until next time, go Sox.